Hello all, I'm Dr. Suraj Panchal. In today's session, we shall discuss about the kinetics of elimination. Before jumping onto the kinetics of elimination, let us understand the concept of clearance. So what is clearance? Clearance is one of the pharmacokinetic parameter that most significantly limits the time course of action of drug, not only at its molecular level but also at cellular and organ targets. Clearance can be conceptualized in two ways. Firstly, it can be defined as a theoretical volume of a plasma from which drug is completely removed in unit time. So therefore, it can be expressed as volume per unit time. However, the other way to define it is clearance is equal to rate of elimination of a drug from the body relative to the concentration of a drug in the plasma. Therefore, overall, you can say that it can be expressed as volume per unit time, which can be given as follows. That is, clearance is equal to, that is, rate of elimination can be expressed as, metabolism plus excretion to the plasma concentration of a drug. Whereas the metabolism and excretion are expressed as rates, that is amounts per unit time. Although the metabolism and the excretion are distinct physiological processes, the pharmacological endpoint is equivalent. That is, what would be expected is a reduction in the circulating level of a active drug. So therefore, as such, the metabolism excretion often referred collectively as clearance. Therefore, by applying the principles of clearance to both, that is to the metabolism and excretion, we can also state that clearance in general or clearance in total, okay, is equal to clearance by the renal system plus clearance by the hepatic system and by the clearance with the other organ system. Now let us understand the metabolism and excretion kinetics proper. We know that majority of the drugs follows first order kinetics. So what is first order kinetics is, it is nothing but the amount of a drug that is metabolized or excreted in a given unit of time is directly proportional to the concentration of a drug in the systemic circulation at that point of time. Now the question arises, why the drug following the first order kinetics metabolizes or excreted, which is directly proportional to the plasma concentration. Can you guess what would be the reason for this? Why there is a directly proportional between the excretion or the elimination to that of the plasma concentration? Yes, the reason being the clearance mechanisms, or the most drugs are not saturated under ordinary circumstances. Why? The reason being the enzyme system, that is the metabolic process or the transporters, are under normal circumstances, under ordinary circumstances, they are surplus in number. So therefore, even after increasing the dose or the dosing rate for that matter, in most of the clinical settings, we don't see drug accumulation, because here, because of the abundant enzyme system, there is a proportional rate of elimination to that of the plasma concentration of a drug. So therefore, increase in plasma drug concentration are matched by increase in the rate of drug metabolism and the excretion. So therefore, from the equation, from the earlier equation, we saw that the rate of elimination, which is contributed by the metabolism and the excretion, is proportional to the plasma concentration. Hence, we can state that the clearance remains constant in the first order kinetics. Therefore, The first order elimination rate, we can say it follows the Michaelis-Menten kinetics, which can be expressed as elimination rate is equal to Vmax multiplied by plasma concentration of a drug divided by Km plus plasma concentration of a drug. Let us understand what is Vmax and Michaelis-Menten constant, also known as Km value, from this picture. The y-axis states its value about the drug elimination rate, and the x-axis, that is plasma concentration of a drug. Now, what normally happens is drugs which follows first order kinetics, as and when the plasma concentration increases on the x-axis, on the y-axis the rate of drug elimination also increases, okay, until the elimination mechanism becomes saturated, that is at the highest plasma concentration. Okay, so this is known as Vmax value. Now what is Vmax is? It is nothing but the maximum rate of the drug elimination. Okay, the one more value is Km, that is Michaelis-Menten constant. It is nothing but a drug concentration, okay, at which the rate of elimination is half the maximum. Okay, so Km is nothing but the drug concentration at which the rate of elimination is half to that of Vmax. Now, what is the importance of this picture? If you can, correlate with other order of kinetics, that is mostly a drug which follows, zero order kinetics, or those enzyme systems which are limited in our body. Now, what happens is whenever the, if the dosing rates, if the dosing rate increases, or if it exceeds the elimination capacity, the steady state cannot be achieved. Okay, what happens? The concentration will keep on rising as long as the dosing continues. So this pattern of capacity limited elimination especially becomes important. Some of the most important clinically drug used, for example, phenytoin as an anti-epileptic drug, and aspirin. We know that the phenytoin, is metabolized by an enzyme system known as CYP2C9. And if you take into consideration as a percentage wise, cytochrome P, that is cytochrome 2C9, it attributes only to the 20% of the total human liver P450 content. Or if a person is having a genetic polymorphism of 2C9, which is a substrate for the substrate for this enzyme is a phenytoin. If it turns out to be a poor metabolizer, then what happens? If this drug is given repeatedly, the rate of elimination becomes saturated very early, and therefore it may cause phenytoin toxicity. So therefore, one of the earliest manifestation is in the form of cerebellar toxicity, that is nystagmus. So therefore, similarly happens with case of high dose aspirin when given clinically. So therefore, this becomes an important point to remember if the enzyme system is capacity limited or it has surplus in amount. The other important point with this is clearance has no real meaning for drugs with the capacity limited elimination. Why? Because the area under the curve should not be used to calculate the clearance of the such drug, because the clearance here, the elimination doesn't matches with the plasma concentration. Therefore, the clearance value cannot be derived from the area under the curve for zero order kinetic drugs. Let us consider one example for this. If a drug has a plasma concentration of 20 microgram per ml and the rate of elimination is 100 microgram per minute, what is the clearance rate? We already saw that what is clearance is equal to rate of elimination divided by the plasma concentration, which when you apply this values, you will get 100 divided by 20, that is microgram gets cancelled, you will get 5 ml per minute as an answer. So therefore, clearance in this is 5 ml per minute, or every minute there is a clearance of 5 ml. Let us consider the clinical application of this clearance once again to the oral, bioavailability especially. Let us consider this example. The pharmacokinetic property of 5 new drugs, that is A, B, C, D, and E, were studied in the laboratory animals, and the drugs were given orally. and the results are as shown below. Okay, these are the newer drugs tested in lab animal, and the percentage of the drug reaching the portal vein are 90%, 87, 50, 2 and 10%, and the hepatic clearance in ml per minute is 20, 900, 450, 100 and 30. Now the question is, which of the following drugs most likely have the highest oral bioavailability? After applying the logic or the concept of clearance, you can say that those drugs which have the least hepatic clearance will be the one with having the highest oral bioavailability. So therefore, if you see in this column, you will see that drug A has the least hepatic clearance. Okay, so therefore, among the all the option, the most appropriate answer is drug A. Though the percentage of drug reaching the portal vein is similar to that of A with respect to B, that is 90 and 87%. However, the hepatic clearance of drug B is more, that is 900 ml per minute. So therefore it would be the drug with the least or less oral bioavailability. So therefore the drug with the highest oral bioavailability is the drug A. So this is one of the clinical application of the clearance with respect to bioavailability. Let us consider the proper topic of today's, that is drug elimination. It follows two kinetics, that is it may follow first order kinetics or zero order kinetics, or some drugs may follow even both, which we call it as a mixed order kinetics. The rate of elimination here can be given as it is proportional to the order of the plasma concentration. Okay, therefore if we let us try to understand this concept of order of kinetics, that is first and zero order kinetics, by assuming that whenever a drug is given by single IV bolus, if it distributes evenly throughout the body, what happens with respect to first order kinetics and zero order kinetics. In the first order kinetics, there is a constant fraction of a drug is eliminated per unit time. Okay, so the fraction we can say it is a percentage of a drug is eliminated per unit time. Therefore, and in case of a zero order kinetics, it is usually the constant amount of a drug is eliminated per unit time. Okay, you can remember first as an F, that is fraction. Let us try to understand this concept with the help of this chart. Okay, let us take an example. This, if a drug has a half-life of 1 hour, and if the initial drug concentration as the drug concentration on the y-axis is given as percentage, and after IV bolus, if it attains the 100% as an initial value at t0, what happens after one half-life is it reaches to the 50% of its initial value. So therefore half-life, we know that it is the drug concentration achieved 50% of its initial value. So therefore after one half-life it achieves 50%, and after two half-life, that is 50% of its initial value. Once again 50 minus 25, that is it comes out to be 25%. After three half-life, that is 12.5%. After four half-life, roughly 6.25, and after five half-life it is 3.125. So therefore upon plotting or connecting all the dots, you will get an exponential decay. So therefore on arithmetic scale, the first order kinetics forms a plasma concentration curve which is obtained is exponential decay on arithmetic scale. However, if you apply the same on the log scale, now what is the advantage of using log scale is the more number of percentage can be contributed or can be applied on the y-axis, or the more dosing rate or the more dosage can be applied on the y-axis. So therefore, and also the fact that the half-life can be easily calculated in case of log scale. So for applying the same concept, that is with the half-life of one, after one half-life, the drug reduces to 50% of its initial value, that is 50% here. And then after two half-life, it attains 25% of its initial value, that is 50%. And then 12.5% after three half-life, then 6.25% of the, and after four half-life, and then 3.125. After connecting all these dots, you will get a straight line. Okay, linear. So therefore, the first order kinetics is also known as linear kinetics, because on log scale, it obtains, we get this kind of graph, that is linear. Okay. However, therefore, you see that the plasma concentration time curve on the arithmetic scale is exponential decay. However, with respect to zero order kinetics, it is linear on the arithmetic scale. We shall also okay, this we will discuss it anyways. So we will get a linear scale on the log scale that we have already seen in the slides. Let us also discuss about the zero order kinetics on the plasma concentration time curve with respect to scale. Supposedly we shall take example like if a drug amount of a drug eliminated of every half life of 1 hour to be 24 microgram. Let us see what is the situation in the arithmetic scale. Or if the initial value is 100 microgram attained after IV dose, what happens after one half life with respect to zero order kinetics? In case of zero order kinetics, as I said, like after one half life, the amount of drug that is eliminated is 25 microgram. So roughly here it is at this point. So then after two half life, 75 microgram minus 25 would be 50 microgram. That is roughly at this point. And then after three half life, 25, 50 minus 25 microgram once again. After three half life, we will get 25 microgram. And then after four half life, 25 microgram minus 25, it would come approximately at this point, that is 0. Okay, so if you connect all these points, you will see that it attains a linear scale. So therefore, you will see that upon applying the arithmetic scale with respect to zero order kinetics, we get a linear line. Okay, linear on the arithmetic scale. Now what happens with respect to log scale in case of zero order kinetics is, let us consider the same scenario, that is drug having a half-life of 1 hour and the drug eliminated, it is fixed. Once again, we'll consider as in 25 microgram. So after one half-life, it would be roughly around 75 microgram somewhere here. And then after two half-life, 75 minus 25, that is 50 microgram somewhere here. And then after three half-life, 50 minus 25 somewhere here, there is 25 microgram. After four half-life, that is 25 microgram minus 25, it will be somewhere here. Okay, so upon joining all this, we'll get a curve. Therefore, you'll see that upon applying a logarithmic scale to a drug which follows a zero order kinetics, we get a curve on the log scale. Okay, this can be an important question, with respect to image based question. So therefore, for all practical purpose, try to remember the logarithmic scale, that is, it is linear with respect to, first order kinetics. Therefore, it is called as linear kinetics. For zero order kinetics, it is curved. Therefore, it is also called as non-linear kinetics. Let us see some other differences. The rate of elimination is proportional to the plasma concentration. Why? Because the enzyme system here is not saturable, which we already discussed in the clearance concept. However, in case of rate of elimination in zero order kinetics is independent of the plasma concentration, for the reason being it is saturable or the capacity limited enzyme system. So therefore, you will see that the clearance remains constant. Why? Because both the numerator, that is rate of elimination, that is metabolism and excretion, is proportional to that of the plasma concentration. Therefore, you will see the clearance is constant here, but clearance is variable in case of zero order kinetics, especially it is lesser at the higher concentration because the enzyme systems are saturated. Therefore, you will see that even the half-life remains constant in case of first order kinetics. However, it is variable in case of zero order kinetics. We have already discussed about this plasma concentration time curve, which is usually a linear on the log scale. That's why it is called as linear kinetics. And the plasma concentration time curve in case of zero order, that is, it is the curved on log scale. Examples: most drugs follows the first order kinetics. However, very few drugs follow the zero order kinetics. One of the drug which in true sense follows the zero order kinetics is alcohol. Why? Because the cofactors or the number of enzymes required to metabolize alcohol are very less. So therefore, it follows a zero order kinetics. The other example being a phenytoin, once again, which is metabolized by 2C9. For the reason, once again, less concentration of this subset of CYP P4 system enzyme, that is 2C9, only attributing to the 20% of the total hepatic percentage. And then, high dose aspirin, warfarin, once again, by the 2C9 and 2C19. Once again, if there is a poor metabolizer or a genetic polymorphism of the enzyme, once again, the chances of, even of the therapeutic doses, they can cause bleeding, that is warfarin. So that's the importance of knowing their enzyme proper and their genetic status. The other drugs which follows the zero order kinetics are theophylline and then tolbutamide, which is the first generation anti-diabetic, first generation sulfonylurea. So these are the few examples of the drugs following the zero order kinetics. Now let us solve few MCQs. Let us try to integrate the theory. Which of the following is not true? Let us consider if a drug is administered IV, it follows zero order kinetics. If a drug is administered rectally, it follows first order kinetics. If a drug is administered IV, it follows zero order kinetics. Bioavailability of a drug is usually lower, after oral administration than IV administration. Which of the following is not true? Okay, it's a tricky one. Anyways, route of administration doesn't decides the order of kinetics. So therefore, all the statements are not true, both A, B, and C. Okay, it says IV, IM, it follows zero order, rectally it follows first order, and IV, it follows first order kinetics. No, all are false statement. However, we know that once the drug is given orally, some part of drug is usually metabolized in the hepatic system, or some enzymes in the GI may metabolize. So therefore, we will expect that the bioavailability of oral administration usually lower than that of the IV administration. Though this is the right statement, however, these are all the false statement or not true. True about first order kinetics. Rate of elimination is independent of the plasma concentration. Half-life increases with dose. Clearance decreases with dose. And fourth option, a constant proportion of a plasma concentration is eliminated per unit time. What is true about the first order kinetics? Yes, the rate of elimination is independent of plasma concentration. It is a zero order kinetics. Of course, why? Because the enzyme system is saturated. Therefore, we'll also see that the half-life increases with dose in zero order kinetics. The clearance decreases with dose. Why? Because the capacity limited. So therefore, upon increase in dose, because of the saturation of early saturation of the enzyme, the clearance would decrease. So therefore, all this follows. All these are the statements of zero order kinetics. However, in case of first order kinetics, we discussed a constant proportion of a plasma concentration is eliminated per unit time, which is the right statement. Thank you. That's all from this today's session. I hope the concept of clearance and the order of kinetics is clear. Please subscribe for further notification. Thank you.